Congratulations, Co.act Detroit. Keep on working, keep on fighting, keep on being in the work of liberation. Don't let go of this space that you have created.
Welcome to Natural Collisions, brought to you by Co.act Detroit. Conversations about the challenges and opportunities in the nonprofit sector, highlighting the voices in nonprofit work in Detroit and Southeast Michigan, and beyond. I'm your host, Charnay Sanders, Program Manager at Co.act Detroit. For today's episode, we are celebrating a milestone, Co.act Detroit's 5-year anniversary. This special episode brings you inside the celebration where nonprofit leaders, community advocates, and co-activists gather to reflect on the 5 years of impact, collaboration, and community building. From powerful speeches and heartfelt conversations, this event was a testament to the dedication and passion that continues to fuel Southeast Michigan's nonprofit community. So stay tuned for the stories, ideas, and inspiration that will unfold as Co.act celebrates 5 years of transformational impact. And let's begin with some words from the founding executive director of Co.act Detroit, Andere Boger.
Hi, my name is Andere Boger, and I have the distinct honor and privilege of serving as the founding executive director for Co.act Detroit. I'd like to welcome you to our 5-year anniversary celebration. The first 5 years of Co.act's existence has been nothing short of transformational. What started as a nascent idea to connect nonprofit organizations to resources has become something much bigger than what any of us could have imagined. From building out a collaborative workspace where people come together to share ideas and problem solve, to expanding our program offerings into the virtual space in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have been adaptable and flexible and responsive to the needs of the nonprofit community in Southeast Michigan. In our first 5 years, we've worked with partners to build new programs, new ways of being, new ways of thinking, and new ways of working together. We've co-created something truly transformational for our community. Our efforts at Co.act have been embraced locally, nationally, and globally. And none of this would have been possible without the unwavering support and partners of each of you. I'd like to thank you for your willingness to go on this journey with us, your willingness to be bold and audacious and to explore new ideas to solve problems and create opportunities in our community. Thank you.
Now, let's dive right in. Our first guest speaker is Dr. Kelly Brittain, Vice President of Impact at the Children's Foundation.
I just want everyone to take a minute and just reflect on the world without Co.act. Just imagine, let's just reflect on how dark and lost many of us were. Like, where do we go for resources? Where do we go to connect? Where do we go for help? And it's just amazing over the past 5 years just how transformational Co.act has been to the nonprofit world. In my work at the Children's Foundation, and previously I was a senior program officer at the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan Foundation, Co.act is the organization that when meeting with local nonprofits and seeing their potential and seeing what they're doing in the community, but also understanding that there is growth and maturity on the way, where would I go and where would I send them for that valuable support? Co.act. So I'm so blessed that Co.act is one of those partners, but also not only in that respect, when we're looking for new community organizations to partner with that have gone through Co.act programming, that have availed themselves of resources, where would I go to find new community organizations to meet with and to partner with? I go to Co.act. So at the Children's Foundation, one of our biggest initiatives that we're working on right now is the Michigan Central Station Children's Endowment Initiative. And when we began to think about, thank you. And when we began to think about how to elevate equity, how to make this process transparent, transformational, with respect to what the experiences, good and bad, are for Detroit-based nonprofits, where do we go? We came to Co.act. We had various meetings with Kyla and team to really understand the process of engaging community in making decisions on the endowment, thus our structure. We have a selection committee of 15 individuals representing the community. These are the best practices that over 5 years elevates and makes Co.act head and shoulders above any structural infrastructure support organization that I'm aware of in this region. I am very thankful for having Co.act at the table when we were creating the applications, we were thinking about the processes. Kyla and team have always been there whenever we have asked, and I look forward to the future visioning, because my goodness, I met with team maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and to hear from the team what is upcoming is just amazing. Yes, Co.act stands for collaboration. It also stands for action, but I also think it stands for impact and transformation. And let's again give another round of applause for, in the words of Stevie Wonder, we hope that Co.act is here to the time when 8 times 8 times 8 is 4. Thank you.
What a beautiful start to our 5-year anniversary Natural Collisions episode. Dr. Kelly Brittain is the Vice President of Impact at the Children's Foundation and is responsible for developing and executing a thoughtful strategy to improve the mental and physical health of children in Michigan. With over 25 years in public health and experience in philanthropy, healthcare, and academia, she has a passion for health equity and is a lifelong learner dedicated to improving the health of us all. During our celebration, we invited our esteemed guests to speak about their organizations and ways they have worked with Co.act in the past. Let's listen in on these interviews, and it will lead us right into our next speaker, Rashard Dobbins, Executive Director at Co.act Detroit.
If they continue that process of really listening and then acting based upon what they're hearing back from the community that they're serving, I think it'll be another 5+ years in service to the city.
It's like connection after connection after connection. Yeah, it's like a big family.
Oh my goodness. Wow, it feels beautiful to be seen. This is one of the greatest demonstrations of love that I've seen in our city in a minute. So can we just clap it up for that, please? To build with my sister who just came before me. When I think about Co.act, and I gotta look at you right in your eyes over there. I wish everybody was but it's movement, right? This isn't a moment. The fact that it's been 5 years, the things that have been accomplished, it feels like 15. Am I right? Right, and we're not just talking about it because of the pandemic. We're talking about just the impact of it, the collective breath that I get because you all exist. I'm somebody who started the org, for those who don't know, in my house back in 2017, just because I was, sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when you see something that needs to be done, you get up and you change that. And the Most High has a way of drawing you with your calling. I tried to be Jonah and run away from it, but I don't really have a choice. So I chose to open up my home and make that a resilience hub. What's up, Miss Carol? And today, right, we went from 1,300 square feet, which is that house, to owning a structure that's 13,000 square feet. You know, when I tell you we wouldn't be here, sis, I see you in the back, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Co.act, right? And some of the things that I did write down is the fact that you have not only showed us, but enabled us to really have transformational capacity, right? Which means, especially when we start to look at things like 400 plus years of this thing that we've been fighting, and different systems that are intact to keep certain folks down, we know that it's not just about making a splash in a moment, it's you have to look at movements. Stanford did this dope article in 2020 in the fall. Some of y'all might already know it, but it's the Stanford Social Innovation Transformational Capacity Building. And I'm gonna spare you, for those who don't know, I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna jump into them approaches. The first one is to build trustworthy and culturally relevant, resonant relationships. Can you say amen? Amen. Thank you. Number 2, address underlying patterns of behavior rooted in history and culture. Check, right? 3, encourage nonprofits to be specialists, not generalists. That sounds like the Well Fund. That sounds like making it equitable and using submittable and all these other things so that you can approach a Kresge grant, right? Is an organization that started in the house and be successful. So I got a few more because I'm gonna get it. All right. Cultivate networks to generate power and change systems. Amen. All right, I got a few more. Invest in the inner well-being and growth of leaders. Okay. Provide simultaneous, multi-layered capacity building opportunities. Y'all getting a little bit light, can I get an amen? Last one, offer direct, flexible funding for transformative capacity building. So sister, thank you, I love you. I'm not gonna go too much deep into it, but when I say I've been through hell and back multiple times, and I wouldn't be standing if it wasn't for the crew at Co.act, I mean that. I mean that. Folks will never know. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. Love you.
What heartwarming and moving words from Rashard. Rashard Dobbins has more than a decade of experience working in the entertainment industry as a performer and production professional. He currently serves as Executive Director of Co.act Detroit, encouraging youth development through free arts education. Rashard has been participating in various programs through Co.act since 2019. He has been awarded a grant from the Well Fund, as well as the Kresge Innovative Projects Detroit Plus, and is a true co-activist at heart, embodying Co.act's beliefs and all that he does. Now, let's return to the celebration with more conversations with our guests.
And all of the no's become yeses when you come to Co.act.
Co.act has fostered an incredible network of committed nonprofit organizations across our city, and we feel really lucky to be a part of this wider community that Co.act convenes and instills best practices in to strengthen all of our work.
Our keynote speaker for our 5-year anniversary is Andere. Prior to joining Funders Together to End Homelessness as their CEO, Andere served as the CEO of Wider Opportunities for Women, a national advocacy organization. Amanda has spent over 20 years working in the nonprofit and public sector as a leader committed to racial and housing justice through advocacy for systemic change. We welcome her to Detroit to be a part of this monumental occasion.
Within minutes in meeting and speaking to your fearless leader, Andere, I knew that Co.act Detroit has created home for so many leaders on the front lines of justice and community and the work to make our organizations more liberated. Much like our work in housing, she and her team and those of you who have invested in Co.act have built the structures. But you also know it is meaningless to have structures if it does not become a radically inclusive home for all who are committed to work differently together. And to be honest with you, as a Black woman nonprofit leader for over 20 years, who experienced so much racialized trauma from the sector that is supposed to be about love and helping people, I know a place like Co.act would not have helped me bypass therapy, but it would have made me feel a little less alone. It would have given me a few things that I have been dreaming and preaching about these last 2 years. I believe Co.act would have given me rest, recovery, healing, spaciousness, and hopefully the ability to repair. Because here's what I do know about the state of nonprofits in relation to philanthropy. We fund the fight, but not the rest, recovery, or repair. Let me say that again. We fund the fight, but not the rest, recovery, and repair, and we'll go to war before we even think about healing and peace. I don't want to get to justice and liberation and be so harmed and tired that I can't experience the joy that is my birthright. The joy that we see in this room tonight is the joy that I hope is practiced in all of our collective work. We understand that the work is hard. We understand that joy is the resistance to the oppression that we face, and that joy enables hope, helps us to practice radical imagination and build community and curiosity and nuance and abundance. We build and exercise our muscle for radical imagination and curiosity because we know we have to create spaciousness in our work to imagine what a more liberated world could be and accept that we will not have all the answers. We begin asking, how do we make this possible? We hold multiple truths and embrace complexities and nuance in our work. When I was introduced to Co.act and we were thinking about our values, I was thinking about how aligned we are in these values and how these values represent what I think Co.act has been and what it can be. And so tonight, as we celebrate Co.act Detroit and their leadership, I want to focus on the value of joy, which I think is so connected to hope. I know, especially a week before, when everyone is calling the most monumentous election we will have in our country, it's hard to find hope as the world seems to be crumbling around us. I wake up every day knowing that joy, pain, and hope can live in the same place. But we have to remember that hopelessness is the enemy of justice. Hopelessness is the enemy of justice. Without the audacity to believe we can win, and without hope, then we are just doing the opposition's work for them. And with hope comes joy, and we know, as I've said before, joy is the resistance to the oppression we face. So, what is giving me hope? The boldness and conviction of the nonprofit justice movement to not just tinker around the edges or accept incremental change, but fundamentally uproot the oppression in our system gives me hope. Co.act gives me hope. I have hope because the energy on the streets is finally speaking louder than the people who are gatekeepers to resources and power. I have hope, friends, because power in our work is finally shifting to where it rightfully belongs, to the people closest to the problem. I have hope because I see funders like my colleagues in the work, McGregor, boldly say, rest is justice. And we are finally not seeing rest as a reward, but as our birthright, to rest and experience the joy of being in right relationship with community. So my question to all of you tonight is, will you continue to join Co.act and all of us on this journey of joy and hope? Will you shift from learning about racial equity to actions that lead to justice? Are you ready to decolonize our systems of oppression and gatekeeping? Will you give up power to Black, Indigenous people, and people of color? Are you ready for a radical reimagining of our community that will push us towards racial justice? Will you not sit on the sidelines as an ally, but be a co-conspirator, a comrade in our shared liberation? Will you commit to slowing down and embracing soon come? by asking for the spaciousness we need to truly vision and imagine more liberated systems and structures that will finally get us to the abundance we all deserve. I have hope, friends, in Detroit, because I know the answer is yes. We might disagree on how we get there. We will get to the promised land together, and we will do it with joy as we are daily reminded by these words of Assata Shakur. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Congratulations, Co.act Detroit. Keep on working, keep on fighting, keep on being in the work of liberation. Don't let go of this space that you have created. Make it a space of spaciousness, of joy, of love, of coming together. You have it here. I have not witnessed this type of community in many other spaces. Congratulations on your leadership.
Such an inspiring way to wrap up our 5-year anniversary celebration. As we reflect on the incredible moments shared during our 5-year anniversary celebration, it's clear how much Co.act is treasured by the nonprofit community here in Detroit and Southeast Michigan. These remarks and stories have truly highlighted the power of collaboration, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to our region. Now, we turn to someone who has been here at the center of it all since the very beginning. Co.act Detroit's founding executive director, Andere Boger.
Leading a high-performing and passionate team at Co.act Detroit to lean into and embody our mission every day has been an immense joy for me. The values of co-creation, centering equity, and ensuring that nonprofit organizations can do their best work is a personal and a professional mission for me. Bringing my experience, expertise, learnings, mislearnings into this role has helped me to grow both as a person and a professional. And my greatest hope is that what we have built in our first 5 years at Co.act is a more resilient and connected nonprofit community in Southeast Michigan. I am extremely grateful for the opportunity to lead this work, to learn from our community leaders, and to help ensure that nonprofits have access to the resources and tools to grow their missions. It has been an immense joy, and I look forward to continuing to see and experience all the ways that Co.act will continue to impact our community moving forward.
I would like to personally thank Andere for her bold leadership, deep passion for the nonprofit sector, and her dedication to Co.act Detroit and its mission over the past few years. This was only a snapshot of the community, the conversations, the collaboration, and the love, wisdom, and gems shared during the Co.act Detroit 5-year anniversary celebration. This event was hosted in October at the Jam Handy, located on East Grand Boulevard, not too far from the Co.act Detroit space. Thank you to all the staff, speakers, and partners who made this event so memorable. And the guests, our co-activist community, who have contributed so much to Co.act Detroit over these 5 amazing years. Thank you for the vital role you play in transforming Southeast Michigan's nonprofit ecosystem. And the conversations and collaborations don't stop here. There is still so much more to come. So many wonderful organizations make Co.act Detroit the special hub it has become.
At this time, as the executive director becomes the former executive director, I would like to say that I'm extremely proud of you, proud of her, for all the work that she's done, considering that I know her full story and her life experiences, and this is just phenomenal to see her reach this stage in her career.
It's just a really beautiful event, and you guys do great work. Co.act Detroit is a wonderful facility. They're on Woodward Avenue, and they have a phenomenal drop-in space. So every time they would have the drop-in space, I always utilize it. Even though I have my own office, it gives you a reach into a different space. It's beautiful. It's wonderful for meeting new people, networking, and the atmosphere is just so enticing. It draws you in. You have lunch there, you meet people, you can even take your clients there. So I found that I'm anticipating every drop-in that they have and every event that they offer. So.
What excites me most about their future is the fact that they made it to 5 years, so that means that they should be around, because they say most nonprofits don't make it to the 5-year mark. So that is encouraging to know that, one, they are there to support us as we go on this journey, as we look for new opportunities. They offer the candid, I'm gonna say, lab where we can go in and look for other funding. So again, just the fact that they're there and that we can call on them if needed is an awesome thing.
They believed in my vision so much that they awarded me a planning grant. Yes, so they kind of like changed the trajectory, because once you get a grant, it's easier to get other grants, because they say, oh, people believe in you already. So it really helped us out so much.
Thank you again for listening as we reflected on this unforgettable experience. Links to all guest organizations and helpful resources can be found in the description. This has been the Natural Collisions podcast from Co.act Detroit. Remember, the word co-act itself means to work together, because we know we cannot have transformational impact if we only work alone. To learn more about our work, visit coactdetroit.org. Please subscribe to Natural Collisions on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We will be back with more conversations soon. Thank you for listening.